What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Let's Do a Podcast. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Anthony, and let's do a podcast.
Yeah, let's do one. Why
Let's.
not? Or at least let's pretend to do one. I feel like that's what I do every time I record. It's like, am I doing a podcast? Is this really what this is?
You mean this is a real podcast?
Yeah, well, I'm pretending to be. So before we go into anything, because I'm ready to drink, let's talk about beer. So here's what we're drinking. Go ahead. Spilled in Bedford. It is a Turning Point and Urban South collab.
Yes, and here's a little ASMR for you here.
There you go.
Oh, that did mine decided to go everywhere.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like we thought we were safe.
So it is a pastry sour with strawberries and white chocolate and coconut. So it's been in my fridge for a little while, so we'll see how this is.
We'll see how this ages.
I actually had one not too long ago, and I thought it was actually still pretty good. So
my pouring skills are terrible here.
yeah, it's pretty bad. Of course, I'm wearing my Turning Point hat. So just a quick reminder before we do too much, you can now watch our podcast on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter at PartyCast Network, or you can go to Let's Do a Podcast on Facebook, YouTube. I think that's it.
Hey, is it on Facebook or is it on Meta?
At this point, I truly don't know, and I kind of don't care.
Yeah.
So
the answer will shock you.
Will it
or not?
Yeah, I don't care. So
it's just gonna be a meta reference. But
oh my god. So yes, so you can watch our podcast there. We're slowly adjusting things to figure out how to make the recording work, but you know we'll get there eventually. Anyways, what you thinking about this beer?
You know, it's got an interesting profile to it. So the what was it you were saying was in here again? We got the strawberries, which I could taste that. I get the coconut. Got like a kind of like a strawberry pina colada vibe to it.
Yeah.
The white chocolate's the only thing I'm not really getting strong vibes of.
You gotta shake up the can.
Oh, I'm always bad at that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you noticed, I poured before we started just because I'm known for opening the can when it overflows. So I opened it, I poured about half, then I shook the can up a lot, and then poured the rest, and I feel like it did the job.
Oh, that's darker now.
Yeah, that looks good. Hopefully it tastes good.
Let's see down the hatch. Starting to get hints of it, but still haven't gotten the full.
It's not super
chocolate
strong
explosion yet.
Yeah, it's not super strong.
It's pretty good though. I like it.
Yeah, it's still holding up well, which is nice and a little less nerve-wracking.
So it's always good to open a beer that's been there for a while and be like, oh, this is still fine. That's great.
Yeah, for sure.
Versus the alternative.
So let's talk about.
Do we have any other any beer events coming up? We're always bad at like remembering to do this.
Oh yeah, possibly. See, the plus side is whenever you listen to this, it's been edited. If you watch this live, you get to see me struggle and quickly look this up. Beer and Big D, right?
Yep.
All right. Oof. So let's look and see what we got coming up event wise. What month is it? I don't even know.
So today, on the day we were recording, is the 20th.
All right.
We're always at the end of this calendar.
Yeah.
I don't know how we manage that every single time.
Where is the calendar?
It's on the if you go to the top, it's the second tab there on the top.
Yep. Man, I am doing fantastic.
Nailing it.
So let's see. We're recording the 20th. So let's scroll down. So, well, these are all today. That's cool. So on the
On the further
20
out list there, so you know when we come out, so
yeah, the 25th, February 25th, there's Mardi Gras Mardi Gras party over at Oak Cliff Brewing.
ooh, and I really enjoy Oak Cliff, they're pretty good.
Yeah, chili cook-off over at Division Brewing on February 26th.
Nice. Division's pretty good too.
Ooh, Festival of Darkness by Tups on the 26th.
Now, is that a beer release or is that like, just an annual festival thing they
It's
do?
pretty much so they do it every year, and it's like their a lot of their full-grown series. Like, it's pretty much all their
Oh, it's their
stouts.
stout festival,
Yeah, it's their
okay.
Stout
Yeah,
Fest.
that's right. It's like I remember hearing about that.
Mhm. I really wanted to go last year. Well, I don't think they did it last year, but whenever that was, so, um, wow, okay. So apparently in March, Big Texas Beer Fest.
Again? No,
Yeah.
wait, that's right, because they pushed last year's back to October, right?
Oh, I thought they actually did it.
Yeah, they did. They did do it. It's just that it happens in March every year.
Oh, okay.
So now it's just gonna they just
They're actually gonna try to do it
turned
on
around and tried to
March?
do it on time.
Oh, okay. I was thinking,
I
didn't it
completely
just
I
happen?
didn't even think about it.
But so those were kind of the top ones. So
Yeah,
seventh anniversary party for Tups on May 7th.
only 7th.
I know
Man, I feel like I've been here, like, for most of their time being here.
yeah,
That's crazy.
that is crazy to think about. Honestly, whenever I think about that and like Odd Muse, just like the breweries that I love to go to, just like they're all actually pretty new places,
Mhm.
but they've made such a big name for themselves. So,
Yeah. It's like, also see on there, Martin House on March 5th, they're, doing a release party for their Tropical Punch pickle beer,
oh
which
yes, yes.
if you were at Sourfest, I believe they had that as a limited release last year. So
I don't
for those of
know.
you who like the pickle beer, more power to you. You can go and enjoy it there.
I want to try it, but I don't want to buy it. I don't want to spend money to try it.
You know, I do wanna get maybe I would try it as a taster.
Mhm.
I do like their nuclear sours, but the pickle beers, I'm just, like, so nervous to try that. I don't know if I'm more worried that I will, like, not like it or that I will like it. Which one would be worse?
And you just keep buying it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those beers that you always have stocked at the house.
Oh, man.
But
It'd be either amazing or awful. But also, I didn't see this on the calendar. Maybe it's because it's not coming up that soon, but they just did this past weekend. They just did their opening, like, some of their limited grand opening, stuff for community for their new tap room.
oh
And so
yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
coming up soon too.
That might have been somewhere up here. I kind of just quickly scrolled down to. Well, yeah, there's nothing. I don't see anything for community.
Yeah. But just to let you know, when they do their there it is, Community Beer Co.
Sneak
special items
Peek.
there.
Yeah.
When they do their grand opening and they open everything to the public, you can probably find us down there. We're gonna go check it out. We
Mhm.
really enjoyed hanging out at their, old place, so we're hoping the new place is just as awesome.
I mean, I've seen a lot of videos and pictures of their new place, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So we'll be there. I mean,
Yeah. I drove past where they're setting up. They're not too far from their old location.
no, they're
Yeah.
not far at all. um, yeah. So as usual, I'll put the link to where you can find all this in the show notes because want to spread the love. I don't know if you saw, but I can't remember his name. The guy that does this, the beer and Big D, he actually thanked us for the shout out and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, he does all the hard work.
I know.
We just share it with you guys.
So
So,
I think I tagged him in something. It was just like, hey, thank you, blah blah blah. And he was just like, hey, thanks for the shout out and using me. I'm like, it's
yeah.
easy. All I have to do is read
Yeah.
off of
Like,
the
I you got good SEO. I Googled and I found you.
yeah,
So,
it's easy. So I'll put those in the show notes. Something to talk about. I went to the 903 Barrel Aged Fest.
ooh.
Um, delicious. I mean, extremely heavy stuff. I mean, it was a sipping kind of day. We
Yeah.
got there at like I think 1 or 2 and stayed till like 8.
Honestly, have you ever had anything like that was just, like, not good from 903?
Sometimes their slushies aren't that good for me.
Really? Well, there's, like, some of their, like, more experimental stuff though, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, Parent 903 is so good. It really is really delicious. If you can find their stuff, I recommend getting it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like slushy beers and all that kind of stuff, their normal things are delicious. But I have, I think, 4 or 5 bottles that you got with your ticket,
Mhm.
so get to go through those. And
Yeah. It's like, I remember last time we did, one of their stouts on the podcast, it was, like, their cookies and cream stout, and it was freaking awesome.
oh yeah, that was super sweet too, if I
Yeah.
remember right.
And cookies and cream is, like, my jam, so
Same. So maybe we'll drink one of those on a podcast episode coming up because
nice.
I mean I got them. I can't drink those alone. So
Yeah. I'll bring my stout drinking pants for that.
that's right.
We gotta do that before it gets too warm out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, but anyways, yeah, it was a fun time. I saw Jeremy, said hi. We drank, we ate, we just enjoyed the time. So if you haven't been out there, I recommend it. It's pretty far for us. It took us
Yeah.
about
All the way out to Sherman,
a
yeah.
little over an hour, if I remember right.
Worth the drive.
But yeah, it was definitely worth the drive, and we stayed out there all day, so we made sure it was worth the drive. Um, I don't know. I feel like there's something else beer related that I'm doing, but I can't think of it. Maybe not. I think that's pretty much all I have planned. But I want to get back out there again. I feel like it's been a while since I've actually gone to breweries.
So we do have, we had talked about doing, was it my wife is actually in charge of this whole thing, but, coming up, is it next month? No, or is it in April? We have Hops and Props coming up,
Oh right, right, right,
out at
right.
the, out at, I wanna say it's at Meacham Airfield. It's at the, Fort Worth, Aviation Museum, and they're doing a beer fest slash AV. Nothing mixes better than airplanes and alcohol,
Oh, for
as,
sure.
as everybody would know. It's like everybody knows pilots love to drink, so just not just before you fly, of course.
Oh yeah, do a quick shot and then get on the plane.
Yeah, exactly. Just calm your nerves.
I don't have a problem. Yeah, so we'll be out there, and as it gets closer, we'll talk about it more. And
Yeah, as I actually remember the date it occurs on.
same.
Yeah,
I think I put it in my calendar, but I'm not gonna try to explore and find it.
yeah,
But we'll probably have more episodes, hopefully before before we go do that. I mean, we should, but you
yeah.
never
I
know
mean,
with us.
we got. Don't we have like a Cage Fest coming up soon? We
All right, we
do.
do.
Yeah,
Okay, so
because our annual. We have to, we have to stave off the curse one more year, otherwise we turn into Nicolas Cage ourselves.
yeah, we're not doing 4 movies. I'll do 3 max
All right,
for Cage Fest.
all
I
right.
just feel like that one extra, like, it was just
Yeah, it almost broke us.
dude, that was rough. That was so rough. Um, all right, so yeah, Cage Fest is coming up. So if you have any Nicolas Cage movies that you want us to watch, go ahead and let us know. We'll research it and see if that's something that is let's do a podcast worthy. As in, is it bad enough? But I mean, we've watched some good Nicolas Cage. He's come out with recent movies too.
Yeah, it's like there's one he's coming out with here soon that actually looks good. Was it the unbearable talent?
Is that the one where he plays himself?
Yeah, where he's
Yeah,
like the unbearable weight of massive talent or something like that.
I wa
He's in that with Pedro Pascal from Mandalorian.
yeah, it's like he knows Cage Fest is coming up, so he's making things for us.
Yeah, but
So,
by which I mean, hey, thank you, Mr. Cage. We'll take it. But I really,
Anthony will take it.
yeah, yeah. But it's like I think I'm just gonna put this out on the podcast right now. I think we should do Wicker Man. We reference it enough.
It's
We
true.
should just do Wicker Man.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to put that on the list.
Yeah.
So, there we go. We have at least Wicker Man, so 2 more movies, if we haven't already seen it or talked about it, which we've seen quite a few, I feel like
Yeah. Maybe not for this year, but for next year, I'm pretty sure there's a movie coming out where he's playing Joe Exotic. Eager to
there it
see what
is.
happens with that.
I can't. I can't do that,
That's
so
that's when he's gonna get to go full Cage on that.
that yeah, I don't no, no. Anyways, let's move on because I don't wanna talk about all that.
It's like I don't want to think about it.
Let's talk about this movie.
This movie. Did we even say what movie we're doing?
No, it's in the title. If you guys can't read, then I'm sorry that you're just now getting the title, but we are talking about
It's talking about a gentleman. It's a self-titled movie, biographical, autobiographical movie about a man named Ron Sky. It's called Ron Sky.
I was thinking, "What?" Then now I get
Yeah.
it. So we're watching Iron Sky, which if you've been following us for a while, we started off what was it, like, last year or 2 years ago?
It was like, it was either a year and a half or a year ago.
We
We
watched
did part 2.
yeah, we watched Iron Sky, the second pretty much the second one, which I can't remember what it was called, but
Iron Sky: The Coming Race.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we started off with that, and then we decided, "You know what? Let's backtrack and watch the original." So,
There was less dinosaurs in this one.
a lot less dinosaurs. Um,
One would say, 1,000% less dinosaurs.
for sure. I
Yeah.
was actually really hoping that there'd be some reference to a dinosaur, but there never
Yeah,
was.
so, like
So that was kinda disappointing.
so the dinosaurs in the second movie just kinda come out of nowhere.
A lot happens. We realize a lot and the second one just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
It's
true.
wild. So,
I was really curious how we end up in the start of, because if you remember us talking about the second movie, like, everybody's living on the moon.
mhm.
Uh, Earth is, like, a wasteland apparently. Uh, and you're just thinking to yourself, "Okay, how did we get here?" This answers the question.
Sorta.
Kinda.
Yeah, kinda, sorta.
It's not how you would think it would it's not how you would think we got there, 'cause, the whole plot of the movie is basically Nazis trying to invade Earth, but the Nazis aren't the ones who cause all that shit.
No, which I feel like that's more
Yeah,
realistic
it
how it
is more
happens.
realistic, yeah, but,
So, give us the very quick breakdown of this Iron Sky movie.
alright, so the quick synopsis of this movie is an army of Nazis, for 70 years, prepare a gigantic warship for an invasion of Earth in the year 2018, in the future year of 2018. This movie came out in 2012. So this movie's 10 years old. Happy birthday, Iron Sky.
Happy birthday. Nothing says happy birthday like watching a old movie.
Yeah, 10 years old. This movie didn't look 10 years old.
No, it's not. It really didn't look that old. Like, I actually kind of looked again because I watched it last night, and I had the IMDb up, which I always do. Um, and I kept looking because 'cause I'm thinking, "Am I watching the wrong one?" Just because it doesn't look like that old of a movie, really, like, I was
Um,
actually surprised. And honestly, I just felt really surprised by this movie. Um,
I dare say a lot of people were surprised by this movie.
well,
This was like a very popular. I mean, to be serious though, this is a movie that, I feel like it kind of, sort of kicked off the modern era of the purposely bad B movie.
Mhm.
In that this is a well made, like, effects wise, this is a decently made movie. Of course, the plot is a B movie plot.
Oh, yeah.
This seems like something that would be made by, your Sandy Franks of the 1950s, or your Ed Woods or something like that. But like in the 2000s. But the plot is comprehensible. The effects are good.
Yep.
One could say, but it's by no means a summer blockbuster.
Yeah, and I think especially going from watching the second one and then watching the first one is really kind of what I mean about, like, just surprise, 'cause I expected the same kind of campy, stupid like the second one's very just goofy,
Yeah,
and this one was more like, I mean, obviously still goofy, but it felt more serious.
yeah. It's like it was like still on the joke, but it took itself a little more seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what kinda just threw me off was just thinking, this started off, I think, trying to be a serious movie.
Yeah, I feel like this one was, like, trying to be, like, a sort of political satire,
Yeah.
to an extent.
So, I mean, so for being surprised, I would say, it was an enjoyable surprise for me at least. Um, Very predictable, campy stuff, but yeah, I mean there was no dinosaurs.
No, that was disappointing.
That was a little disappointing. I really did keep like listening or like looking out for any hint of we're gonna add dinosaurs next, but that never happened. Um,
Although to be fair, like, when, James Washington, when he's like a crazy hobo, I was waiting for him to make a reference to, like, lizard people or something like that.
right? Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Which the lizard people are the villains of the second movie, so I was, like, waiting for him to, like, just go full deep end, like, referring to, like, all of the conspiracy theories that we see end up being true in the second movie, but he didn't do that. It was a bummer,
I
but
mean, I can't think of like what else to really talk about. Um, I mean, is there anything that you want to specifically talk about before we get into likes and dislikes?
but the main thrust of the movie though is that the Nazis towards the end of World War II, it seems like in 1945 they left the Earth, they moved to the dark side of the moon in a very swastika shaped building, and they've been living there for the past 70 years. They are waiting or biding their time and waiting until they can come back to the Earth and take over. We have our Earthologist Renata Richter, who's the daughter of El Doctor? I don't know. I don't think that's the correct terminology for German. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not. I don't have very good German. We have Klaus Adler, who is a long title that I couldn't. They kept saying it over and over again, but I was like, I don't understand that.
yeah.
Um, and we also have the guy that's in charge. We have Wolfgang Kurzfleisch.
Hmm.
Um, and basically the whole shtick is that Klaus Adler wants to take over the Earth. He wants to be the guy in charge of the Nazi base on the moon, and he wants, yeah, take over the Earth. I said that twice. And they have the spaceship that they're building on the moon that they're building for the past 60 years, apparently, called the Gottdammerung, which apparently is a reference that I'm not really sure I get. I think it's a reference to some mythical something in German mythology or something like
Hmm.
that. Um,
Yeah. So the technology is very confusing in this movie,
it's very steampunk slash 1940s.
but it's just like somehow it's very old school technology. Them in the like in the moon, but somehow still super advanced.
Right, yeah. They were able to use all this old school technology to get themselves to the moon and live out there.
It was
I mean, but
very
hey, we did it in the 60s.
yeah, but like they made it so because like at certain scenes they were outside with their helmets off,
I did find that interesting when they
but
got
then
sucked out the airlock and then they came back in the airlock. They seemed like they were fine. They were no longer getting sucked out, but they still couldn't breathe.
yeah, so I was kind of confused. So in my head, I was thinking, oh, well, they created like this section of the outside. Somehow we've created so you have oxygen.
Mhm.
But then you look at their technology and like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it was like force fields?
Yeah, I know. Very confusing, but very interesting for sure. Interesting.
Yeah. But, we have all of that, back on Earth, we have the President of the United States, who I'm pretty sure, is supposed to be Sarah Palin.
I'm pretty sure.
She looks very much like Sarah Palin.
Yeah, when Hannah got home, she goes, "Is that Sarah Palin?" I was like, "I think it's supposed to be."
So this movie was made in 2012, so this is, the concept being that I'm guessing in the year 2016, Sarah Palin, ran for and became president, which is not super far off from what actually happened. Um, the, and then so she's using the moon landing to get reelected, in the year all the way in the year 2018, which that's still 2 years off from, like, reelection time, whatever. I'm not saying this movie is, like, accurate at all. This is made
Yeah.
by people from Finland. So, uh, basically the whole war with the Nazis is really just kinda plays into their whole thing, so they're kinda leveraging that to be reelected, and then things just go off the rails from there.
It truly is wild.
Yeah.
Like I know I use that a lot. I feel like that is, like, my catchphrase for this show, but I feel like we just watch movies where just wild shit happens, but it's great
Yeah,
sometimes. And in this instance, I it was crazy, but I enjoyed it. It definitely kept me entertained.
yeah.
So what's something that you liked about this movie?
Oh, there were a few things I liked about this movie. One of the things I did like, if you're familiar with the Downfall parodies, so there's a movie called Downfall. It's about the downfall of the Third Reich in World War II as the Allies come in and totally dismantle the Nazi regime. You know, Go America, we all win. Uh, there's a scene in there where the actor playing Hitler, he basically has a freak out at his generals because something happens. But on if you go on YouTube, you can go on YouTube and search for something's Hitler does not get Adolf Hitler doesn't get accepted into Hogwarts, and they basically take the scene and they take the it's all in German, and so they just subtitle it, and it's basically him, like, freaking out that didn't get accepted into, uh, he didn't get accepted into Hogwarts, and there's a in this particular version of it, it's basically he ends where he's like, "I could shit a hippogriff right now," and then somebody's in the hallway saying, "Don't worry, he can't actually do that. It's physically impossible."
It's impossible.
But there's a scene in this movie where it's not somebody being Hitler because he's not in this movie. Thank goodness. You know, that'd be problematic. But it's the campaign manager, and she's freaking out at her department heads, and they reenact the scene with these characters almost beat for beat, where she's basically tearing down her department heads. But also, it's like a shot for shot remake of this scene, just in a different context. Very similar to how the scene is made put in a different context elsewhere. And I thought that was really interesting. If you're familiar with that meme, it's an interesting take on something with a similar context and with a similar subject matter, I guess. So I thought that was really cool.
So I I know we mentioned this kind of before, but the thing I think I liked the most was is how just the special effects.
Oh yeah.
Like they really I looked at the budget. I don't remember what it was. I forgot to look at the because this is a Finland movie, so I had to do the conversion. But it doesn't seem like like it wasn't a ton of money. So I feel like somehow like they just knocked it out of the park with the special effects. Like truly, I thought it was amazing because they had to do so much with special effects that they didn't like sacrifice. I feel like anything else really for special effects. So I would say that's what I enjoyed probably the most out of it. That kept me just like intrigued is because of how much they had to rely on special effects. You know, being on the moon and shit. Um, and not having the biggest budget in the world. So,
If the in today's dollars, so they used it was 7.5 million euros, which comes out to in today's dollars, 8.5 million US dollars.
which I feel like for all the special effects needed, that's not a ton.
No, no, it's not.
You know, like I just feel like most movies with big special effects throughout like every little aspect of the movie, it's a lot higher of a budget.
Particularly because I think I'm pretty sure if I understood the credits correctly, it's not like they sourced out their effects to like Korea or like a lot of places do. I think they sourced them out to like a firm in Germany, which I think would be more expensive.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I thought that was absolutely fantastic, truly. So the one thing that you disliked.
One thing I disliked. Dislike slash dislike slash liked. The one of the things I disliked slash liked, I felt medium about, was the fleet. The United Nations ended up having a fleet of spaceships there was, like, no lead into this. The International Space Station, Mir, which was destroyed in 1999. I know realism is not, like, what this movie's going for, but, basically all these different nations had spaceships with, that had been armed with rockets, missiles, stuff like that. US had the USS George W. Bush,
Yeah.
which was saying, like, they had, like, nuclear weapons and, like, mag cannons and stuff like that. And I thought it was, like, a really interesting plot point, but I feel like they could've if they had mentioned, like, or, like, dropped, like, hints that there was something like that, I feel like that would've been, like, so much more that would give us something to look forward to rather than just all of a sudden being there. And part of that is also the uh, the campaign manager. While I do laud I did enjoy the acting out of this scene that's very reminiscent of this meme scene that gets used a lot. I felt like they used her as a cipher for a bunch of different characters that they didn't have the money to maybe cast for.
Yeah.
And so she started out as the campaign manager. And then she started out as, like, the patsy to help the, moon Nazis kinda, like, get work their way into, the levers of power, and then she was the captain of the spaceship, and it's just, like, went from one thing to the other, and they just reused this actress for all these different things. They coulda, like I feel like, if they wanted to use the same actress, they coulda just, like, reskinned her and have her be a different person. She could've been triplets.
Mm.
And it would have been fine, you know? But it's the same it's like it again, I know they weren't going for realism. I totally get that. But, like, it even with that, it stretches the fabric of reality of my ability to, like, just kinda go along with this. It's like, I know this is absurdist, but I just, like I have my limits.
Yeah.
The outfit, though, amazing. I don't know what the was with the feathers, but
Yeah, the
I was
feathers
just
just
rolling with it, so
yeah, I mean, honestly, like, as I've thought about it, I didn't really know what I was gonna say about my dislike, but I would have to say I agree of just, like, she played so many different versions. It was it was too much. It was just too much. They could have easily given somebody else one of the, like, 19 parts I feel like that she had to
yeah.
play. Um, yeah, I would say that probably is actually my only complaint that I can think of about this movie.
Yeah, it's like typically with a movie like this, I would complain about, man, they really went too hard on the Nazism and or because that's a very sensitive, very problematic subject. But I feel like they actually dealt with it pretty well.
Yeah,
Because you can't make them look good.
yeah.
But you also have to like to have a source of tension in the story, and they made him look dumb, but in a way that there was tension, that they still had the capability to, like, do harm, but, like, when they were, fighting in space, we were able to, the world was able to kick their asses relatively easily, when it came time to, like, shoot down the ships, their space zeppelins and their flying saucers and all that stuff. They were able to get shot down by, like, our jets, in space. They were able to get shot down. They didn't pose too much of a threat. They were able to like fire and kind of hurt our stuff too. But the biggest danger to our stuff was ourselves, which is that fits reality.
Yeah,
So
truly. Um, and also the other thing I didn't like was, yeah, the lack of dinosaurs, I mean,
yeah, there should have been dinosaurs.
come on. So, cheers, our party fell.
I don't remember what our rating was on there. I think it was probably a cheers, and I enjoyed this one. I would recommend a watch for this one. The acting was not bad. The acting was pretty good. The lady who plays Renata Richter, I felt like her character actually evolved from the beginning, where she's just like this kind of uh, bookwormish school marm damsel in distress who's just kind of being imposed upon by by the bad guy of the movie, Mr. Adler. And she like kind of turns around and becomes the heroine. Why she ends up with that James Washington hobo guy, I don't know. But, it doesn't seem like they have much of a, like, a relationship like that until, like, the very end.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I guess it kind of sort of pays off in the second movie because their kid ends up being the heroine of that movie. But yeah, the story shows change going from one to the other. There's like a middle part there that I feel like I really wish there was a little more explanation on. But again, they're just gonna go from one to the other to the other to the other, and really just kind of chain together a few things and just help us have us just kind of like fill it in ourselves, I guess.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Like it was I was really entertained absolutely the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even the times where they're just like explaining and just like chit chatting, it still was interesting enough where I paid attention. So, um, yeah, definitely a cheers for me. I'd recommend it. I recommend you watch this. Um, if you haven't seen the second one, then watch this first, then watch the second one. But if you've already seen the second one, go watch this and
Hmm.
you'll be like, oh, I don't know how they got to the second movie based off of this, but okay.
Yeah. And this is also a side recommendation. In the movie, they reference a movie called it's Charlie Chaplin's The Dictator. I recommend that movie. That movie's really good too. There's a few speeches in there he makes that are pretty good.
Mm.
I think it's funny that they think that this movie is like pro-Nazi in there, and it's like that movie is like inherently anti-fascism, anti-Nazi. It's a very good. It's comedic, but it's also like a passionate refutation of like fascism altogether. It's a really good for something coming out of just post silent movie era, it still holds up pretty well. So I've watched it. It's pretty good.
Well, there you go, peeps. So there's the movie. Watch it if you want to. We recommend it. And
And if you don't, hey, it's up to you.
yeah, truly whatever you do does not
But
affect
watch
me.
it.
As long as you listen or watch our podcast, that's all that I care about.
Yeah.
So
Like you're not gonna get the full story of it from us here anymore.
that's
We
right.
stopped doing that a long time ago.
Long time ago. All right. Thing of the week, right? Yeah, that's what's next. So I'll go ahead and go first
Yeah,
since
since
I
you
usually make you go first.
yeah, in my sense you saw my eyes get large because like I hadn't thought about that for a second.
Yeah, I kind of forgot too. But so I've started playing this new game. It's called Lost Ark. It is a MMO type game.
Ooh, massively multiplayer online.
It is really fun. So it's a mixture. Have you ever played like Diablo or uh shoot, what's the other one called?
Diablo 3? Diablo 4?
No, not I mean any of the Diablos. It's
Uh,
abbreviated LOL,
League of Legends
League of
or Laugh
Legends.
Out Loud.
Yeah. That's how I remembered it was like LOL, laugh out loud. So it's, it feels like that, but it's a lot different. Like it's a good mixture of a few different kind of bigger MMO games. So I can't really explain it too much because I'm still learning it and very confused by what the hell is happening. But I'm having a blast. I started actually yesterday.
Okay.
Uh, whenever I was off and on feeling okay. I had an off day yesterday, so there were just moments where I got up and I was like, I want to do something, so I just like started playing it, and then I'd go lay down. But it was very fun, and I'm excited to play it more. So I'm gonna also I stream and stuff, so I'm gonna add that to my streaming list and see if uh see if that's entertaining. So if you have a PC, look it up. I think it's only on PC right now. I think I heard that they're going to eventually put it on maybe PlayStation and Xbox. I can't remember now. Anyways, Lost Ark. Look it up. It's very fun. Very, very
Nice.
fun.
I think I've heard of it, but I haven't seen too much on it.
Yeah, it's I expected not to like it.
Hmm.
Because I mean, I liked Diablo, but I got bored of it pretty quickly, and same with LOL.
It's a lot of clicking.
A lot of clicking.
Yeah.
And just kind of like same thing over and over and over and over. So I was like, But
It's
this
funny.
one, it's very different.
It's funny with my only exposure to Diablo 2 is when I was in the army, like 10, 15 years ago. All the guys I was in with, they all played League of Legends because it was like I think at that point it had been like hacked and cracked and whatever. You can basically get on your computer for free, and basically everybody was playing it except for me. I was the only person who didn't play Diablo, and so I've still never played it.
I mean, back whenever I mean, forever ago, I got a laptop that you could like it was good enough to actually play games, so I think I got like a bundle of a few different Diablos and I played them, but yeah, I just got bored with them. But
Yeah.
this one we'll see as I kind of progress in the storyline. If it's just same, 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 I'll probably get bored of it, but
Yeah.
we'll see. As of now, I'm having fun. So, what about you, Anthony? Have you thought of something?
So I got a few things. So I talked the last time about Peacemaker, if I believe I remember. So that show has since concluded its first season. I'm not going to say too much about it, but I recommend watching it. It had a really good ending where I'm just going to spoil this a little bit, but in these shows where they're part of a larger universe, everybody's always like say like with WandaVision, everybody's like, where were the Avengers at during all of this when like when she was taking over a town or something like that? And this show actually answers that question a little bit. Where this being in the DC universe, people are like, "Where's the Justice League?" Well, the Justice League show up, but they just show up late. So it's really it's really kind of a funny joke. Uh, but that's just kind of like a spoiler slash cameo thing at the end of there. They actually had a few of the Justice League members pop in and said a few lines. So I thought that was really interesting. Book of Boba Fett also recently ended. I don't know, Ryan. Have you watched that yet?
No, no.
Just go in there with like
I
you're just going with low expectations
So we don't have a login for
for Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
All right, we got to see what we can do about that.
I know.
I'm also using somebody else's account, so
I was too, but
yeah.
whenever we got a new TV, I realized I didn't have that saved anywhere.
Oh
And I haven't talked
no.
to the person in a long time, so I don't want to just like randomly text them like, "Hey, how's it going? Can I have your login again?"
Can I use your Disney Plus? Oh no, that's a bummer. All right, we got to see what we can do to fix that.
I
But with Book of Boba Fett, if you're a Star Wars fan like I am, you know Boba Fett is enigmatic, awesome character that you kind of like. You put a lot on him because like there's really not much out there about him except for like what's in like uh, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and in Attack of the Clones. I think those are like the three places he appears in the movies, and then he's got a few episodes in the Clone Wars TV show. Um, this I feel like this maybe dispels a little bit too much of the mystique around him. And he doesn't look like the most competent guy around in there. But there's also it's I feel like I'm also along the lines of like any Star Wars is good Star Wars. So just check it out and keep your mind open. Is all I'm saying on that one.
Man, I've actually heard that just like and that's honestly what I was worried about this and whenever they came out with Solo.
Yeah.
It's just like the mystery makes it also a really good character. So if you take away the mystery, is it still a good character? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. It's like this is how he got his gun.
Yeah.
Like this is how he got the dice. It's
Yeah.
like, and you just basically make a movie about how he got all the stuff he has. That was Solo.
Yeah, truly.
This is how I met Chewie. It's not nearly as cool as you think it would be.
Right?
But my thing of the week, getting to the actual thing of the week, my thing of the week is Halo.
Oh, hello.
Halo Infinite. Yes,
Oh,
hello
okay.
Infinite. So the big thing with Halo Infinite, I just recently started playing it about a week and a half ago. Big difference in this one is that it's like an open RPG almost. Uh, Whereas most of the time it was like a very not necessarily on rails, but it was kind of like an on rails shooter where you go from level to level to level. This one's very open world. You're on the ring, and then you have to like free these fire bases so you can get supplies and get like vehicles shipped in. Then you can have the Marines hop on and help you out and all this other stuff. And then you go from mission to mission in the open world. Um, I was really skeptical about it because I've Halos 1 through 5 have been very much that on rails level progression there. And I once I got used to it though and got used to the concept of it, I like just kind of playing around in that world and like getting a ship airdropped in on a Pelican and then getting a bunch of Marines loaded up on there and just kind of going and shooting a bunch of like Covenant or in this case banished but basically the Covenant aliens, the elites and the brutes and all that stuff, and just kind of blowing the hell out of them. And not really necessarily part of any mission or anything like that, but just kind of like taking checkpoints and stuff like that.
Mm.
So it's really fun. It kind of lets you play the game, play games, and not really have to worry about level progression, and kind of divert like you would with like a Fallout or a Elder Scrolls or something like that. You just kind of go off and do your own thing for a little bit without having to worry about uh, getting stuck in a hallway with a bunch of sentinels and brutes and elites and all this stuff that's shooting you and like redoing a level over and over and over again and getting all frustrated. This just kind of like takes that a little bit off the table, but lets you put it off to the side a little bit and just kind of do some relaxing, just kind of just open world shenanigans. Also, there's a grappling hook, which is really fun. So
I've seen that.
adds some verticality to the game. So that was pretty cool too. Which I use the hell out of that just to try and move faster. So
Nice. I've thought about downloading it. I need to
yeah,
see if
I recommend it.
I might have to uninstall a bunch of stuff to get it because it's a
Oh yeah,
pretty
it's
big
it's
file.
big file, yeah.
But
Uh,
uh,
but that's my thing of the week. Halo Infinite. Those other shows too. I recommend them, despite my opinions on them. But Halo Infinite, I definitely recommend that. I haven't finished the game yet, but it's a bunch of fun so far. So
there you go.
yeah.
So let's go ahead. We've really slacked on rating our beers, but what did you think? How would you rate this?
So I'm almost done with this, and I still haven't gotten like the white chocolate vibes on this, but the strawberry and pina colada is what I would call it flavor. There, it's pretty good. It's not a lot of times with these sours, they're like I was comparing it sour to somebody, and I felt like it tasted like acetone. This does not it tastes like acetone, so A plus in that column there. This is a very subtle sour. I feel like what the white chocolate flavor actually does, may not taste chocolatey, which is probably for the best. It mellows all the other sour flavors out.
Yeah.
With its viscosity, as it naturally would bring along. So you get the calm flavors of the strawberry and the coconut, and then everything else kind of chills out with that. So it doesn't hit the palate super hard. And so for that, I give it a 4.
That's exactly what I was going to give it.
Yeah.
So there you go, 4 for both of us. I know you can't get this anymore, so I'm sorry. But if you live in the DFW area, hit me up. I have a few I will gladly give to you. I gotta get this fridge empty of old stuff. um,
You get that new shiz.
yeah, pretty much. So before we do our normal wrap up, the video version of this will come out Monday evenings from now on instead of Tuesdays. Just because on the PartyCast network, there's a lot of videos and stuff like that that come out Tuesdays. So Mondays the days that nothing comes out. So our video will be out Mondays. The audio will come out Tuesday. So keep an eye out for that.
So on Monday you can watch us do no audio.
That's right. Yeah, no audio at all. I was thinking, wait,
Just
what?
pantomime it.
Yeah, it's not going to be entertaining at all. So with that, you want to wrap us up there, bud?
All right. So if you want to reach us out on social media, you can find us on Facebook at Let's Do a Podcast. You can find us on PartyCast Network.
Yeah.
Are we Let's Do a Podcast on there as well?
Yeah. Just PartyCast Network. That's all
PartyCast
you have
Network.
to look up.
You can find that on Twitch.
Yep.
You can find that on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Where else can we find that?
2 more.
Did I already say Twitch?
You already said Twitch.
TikTok.
Ooh, no.
No.
YouTube and Twitter.
Okay. I was guessing at this point.
Yeah, somehow you can go live on Twitter. I didn't know that.
I saw that they added that. I don't know how to use that. I'm really bad at social media now. I've gotten way too old to figure all that stuff out.
That's right. So also on the show notes will be the Beer and Big D. Make sure you check out PartyCast Network. Lots of awesome podcasts on there. We like to have fun. So, guys, thank you so much for listening. If there's any beer you want us to try, let us know. Any movies you want us to watch, let us know.
Cage Fest.
Yeah, get ready for Cage Fest because we're not ready.
Yeah, Ryan's super excited.
I'm so excited. And guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We appreciate you all, and we'll check in you guys later. Bye.
Peace.